Hi YouTube world, it's Adrienne in New York. This is I think my first real video in the new year, like the one I actually filmed, and I've been working on it for a little bit because I saw a few comments when I did my Ulta haul regarding this product, and I thought, well, let's do a video and kind of just show how it works. So I'm going to insert a bunch of clips, but basically I'm going to do a quick review and show you what it looks like. So this is the dpHUE Gloss Plus. It comes in this container. Sorry, it's so grimy, but it's like semi-permanent hair dye. And I've been using this consistently because I haven't been to the hairdresser since last February 14th, which is a first in my entire life. But just simply where I live in New York City, I'm not willing to travel the 200 plus blocks to get to my hairdresser, and I just don't want to go to any hairdresser. So I've just been managing my hair for these last almost year, 11 months, and I've been doing my own hair trimming. I have been taking supplements for my hair to bring about hair growth, and I'll do a video on that because I have taken before and after pictures. I have seen a lot of success with the hair supplements I've taken, so that's a video that will be coming up soon. But this one I wanted to mention, it's regarding really my hair dye. I'd say 3 years ago, I decided to no longer dye the base color of my hair. So for 3 years already, all I've been doing is getting partial highlights to frame my face and just a few to sort of blend. I decided to do this because I was just tired of covering up my gray, and I didn't like that line of demarcation between the growth of gray and the darkness, and my hair can be quite dark. And I just also wanted to just embrace my age, embrace this new kind of wave of beauty of saying, you know, gray hair, that's okay. And yeah, it was just important for me to do. But you do you. If you're not there yet, if you're never going to be there, totally hear you. I have many ladies in my family who, you know, have embraced it, and I love that, and have also not embraced it, and I love their hair too. So it's about what feels right to you. But for me, I just really wanted to protect the health of my hair, and I just thought hair dyeing, you know, in the long run might not be for me. And I also have a lot of scalp sensitivity, and even with hair dye, the type of hair dye that my hair required, because some of my grays were quite stubborn, they were color resistant grays, it was quite damaging on my scalp. And so for all of those reasons, I stopped dyeing my hair. However, I did like the blending of my highlights, and I thought it was a nice compromise, and I just liked that dimension it gave. But I haven't been able to do any sort of highlights since then, so they've been growing out and they've been getting quite brassy. So I'm going to insert a clip of kind of where my hair was at a couple of days ago and show you kind of where it is, and I'll hop back on and talk about where we are now. I'm about to use my dpHUE coloring. I wanted to show what it does to the hair. So I'm not going to change this lighting. It's really easy for me to replicate this lighting. So, but you'll see kind of where my hair is at. I have these highlights that are growing out. They're sort of a lighter color. I have no hair dye on my hair from this point forward, and all throughout my hair, for the most part, it's undyed. And I have a lot of gray. Let me see if I can get you to see the gray. Gray is always a little hard to pick up because it reflects light so well. Yeah, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to put the dpHUE color in my hair, follow the processing guidelines. I actually keep it on a little bit longer, and I'm going to let my hair air dry because I don't really like to blow dry my hair. And I will come back and show you what this looks like. Hi, so I thought it would be helpful to show you how I put on the dpHUE Gloss Plus, and I actually use the shade medium brown. So I just got out of the shower and I towel dried my hair. It's actually been drying for a bit in one of those like dry hair towels. So a lot of the hair is sort of, the water is out of the hair. And so this is a good damp sort of place for it. And all I've done is taken my wet brush and just combed through to get rid of any tangles. And then now I'm just going to split my hair, and I'll probably just fast forward through this bit so you don't have to see me talking. But I'll probably just split my hair, the top half. I'll do the bottom half first, and then yeah. And the one thing I would highly recommend, especially if you're dark hair and using a dark product, is to use gloves. Even if if the product you're using is like a temporary product, or, you know, it says you don't need it. Even like those conditioners that color your hair, like in the shower, those can stain your skin. I've used the blue kind, and yeah, they've stained my skin. So just something to be on the lookout. So I just have these cheap little gloves, and I will be kind of generous with this. A little goes a long way, but I want to try something a little different this time, which is I want to leave it in my hair a little bit longer than I did last time. And so I think I left it in my hair about 25 minutes last time. I'm going to go 40 minutes with it, because I noticed that with just that amount of time, there was a lot of gray coverage, and I wasn't expecting that. I was only expecting the kind of highlighted parts of my hair to get toned, which they did, and which I have to say the tone lasted for quite some bit. I mean, it lasted for, I'd say, 2 months before I felt like I had to refresh it. And so, yeah, pretty excited about that part for sure. So I think I'm just gonna do this. You can kind of see how I'll handle it. And I'll just fast forward to So here's the section where it's like probably the most amount of highlights, and also the part where just the majority of my hair shows. You know, if I pull it back, this section is seen. If I have it down, this section is the most seen. So I do want to make sure I saturate really, really well the ends here as well as the roots. And I know for myself where I have the most gray is sort of this section here. I have these patches, so I'm trying to really saturate the section there. and just see how it goes. I mean, maybe it was a complete fluke that it covered grays, because I've read everywhere and there's no guarantees that this product covers grays. So that it did for me, I was really floored. And not that I even want my grays necessarily to be covered, because I'm no longer really dyeing my hair that way. But it's nice. It's nice to know that it's, you know, a possibility, I guess, at least to soften it, especially if maybe you are growing out your grays and you don't want to put any kind of permanent hair color on, but you maybe are growing out some dyed hair and you don't want to spend a fortune at the salon blending. I think this might be a really good option for people. I feel like, I mean, I like other products by them, so we'll see. Okay, so I went ahead and it is now complete. I don't think there's anything else to cover. So I'm going to wait until this sort of sits in my hair for a bit. I'm gonna re-grab my hair. And then I'm gonna rinse it out. And they just say to rinse it out, you don't shampoo or anything. So I had already shampooed my scalp really well and even conditioned my hair, though I found that this has like a conditioning effect. Though if you need a little bit more, you can always just use leave-in afterwards, like a spray. I have some of those. Oh look, clean hands, clean hands. Okay, I'll be back. So you saw my before, you saw a little bit of the process, and I talked about some of the things to consider while you're doing it. I should say this is typically, I think, about $28, but I actually got it on sale sometime during Christmas for about $15. And so I bought a couple of bottles because I just liked it so much. And like I mentioned, I was quite surprised at using it that it even covered gray, because I knew that a lot of my grays were stubborn, resistant grays, and I really just had the intention of wanting to cover my highlights or kind of tone them. And the fact that it toned some grays is really just unbelievable, because it converts my grays from being grays to sort of like highlights. It's really weird. And so here is the aftermath of my most recent dpHUE. You'll see I have the same exact lighting as I did in that pre-video. You'll see that all the highlights have been really toned quite nicely. The color I'm using is medium brown. I'm sort of curious to try dark brown, but I don't also want to like completely cancel out my highlights, because I do like how the growth is on the bottom. So that's the highlights, and so you could see them there. They're quite nicely toned, and then you can see my gray. It's still there, but it's been blended, and in the sunlight it looks so beautiful. Some of them look blonde, some of them look a little reddish. It's like I'm getting all of this dimension that I didn't even know was a possibility. So I am just thrilled with this product. I can't say enough about it. I think I saw one video when I was like trying to find something that does this. I saw, I think, one video on it that sort of convinced me to try this brand over like the Moroccan oil, which I saw the Moroccan oil and it just felt like it washed out too quickly. So I gave dpHUE a shot because I also am obsessed with their apple cider vinegar rinse. And so I'm pretty brand loyal. I mean, once I find a brand I really like, it's hard for me not to try other things from them. And I just establish a level of trust. And so, yeah, I really, really enjoy it. I highly recommend it. If you're somebody like me who has been really hesitant to go to your hairdresser, and even though maybe you're working from home, you still want to look like yourself. You want to look a little put together and special, and you know, oh, it's so hot in my room, it's hard for me to talk in. But anywho, I just wanted to share with the world even this small little YouTube world of mine, that this product rocks. And I say, I typically wash my hair 2 to 3 times a week only. And I'd say I can go like a good 6 to 8 weeks before it's completely rinsed out. So, you'll see it becoming more and more gradual. But I feel like since I just used a quarter of a bottle, and I used a lot last time, and I did let it sit for 40 minutes, and was the effect of 40 minutes. Yeah, I feel like this is a really good alternative. And my hairdresser, I shouldn't even say, but I will say, a hairdresser trip for me in New York is about $300. So that I can get, and it's New York City, and I think other people in very, very large cities can relate to this. And it's also like a multi-hour process. I probably am at the hairdresser for 4.5 hours. So a combination of that I can color my hair or tone it and make it look really, really shiny and really, really healthy is sort of a blessing that I found this. Really, really a blessing. Blessing on my pocketbook, a blessing on my time. I should also say that when you rinse this out, I'll just make mention, your hair is very, very soft, very moisturized. I didn't put anything else outside of just a few drops of the dpHUE hair oil, because it's in my project pan and I'm trying to use it. And I just put a little bit in, and I also air dry my hair. I don't curl it or dry it with anything, and I sleep with it in a bun so it gets a little bit of a wave. Otherwise my hair is very flat. So I hope that was helpful, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And if you're wondering what's on my face, I'm using the Sandstone palette by ColourPop, the Peachy Beach blush by Physicians Formula, and on my lips I have the M Cosmetics in Faded Clementine. I'm kind of feeling orangey today. So I hope everyone's still having a great new year. Let's pray that people are safe in DC. I'm trying to just send good vibes there. Democracy should just be what it is. And so I'm hoping that no one gets seriously hurt, but that I also hope that, the voice of America is heard, the majority. At that, it's just sort of how it works. And so, yeah, fingers crossed that we're okay in a few days, and I will be checking in on another goodie. Take care, everyone. Bye.